recording in progress. So we'll wait 1 more minute and then we are going to start. Just checking if there are any messages. Let me do my final preparations. And for you guys, if possible, I would love to see your faces during the training. If not, that is also okay. But I would like to make sure that you guys are hearing me. So if any of you could write me in the chat box that you hear me, that would be great. So I make sure that I'm not speaking to myself during this little seminar, right? Gökhan have given us a thumbs up, so we should be okay. And all right, let us start. This is going to be a 1-hour seminar where I'm going to share basically my experiences on productivity, which has a lot of subtopics, obviously. And at the end, we also will have a question and answer session if you are interested. And obviously, you're more than welcome to ask any type of questions regarding our topic, right? So I'm going to share my screen for the most of this conversation. So I'll quickly do that. And then we are good to go. All right. And I like speaking normally like this. And I'm not a huge fan of PowerPoint, but when I like to do it for people, especially who are visual learners. And I guess it's easier for people to keep it in their minds when they see it in a form of text and visuals as well. But regardless, I do a PowerPoint presentation or not, what I usually do is that I keep it very minimalistic with a photo and a few words. And that would be my first advice to you on being productive, actually, because being productive does not and will not mean doing a lot of things at the same time and taking up all the responsibilities in your life, but it is more about doing things that make you happy, that you feel personal and obviously financial satisfaction, and that makes you feel like you are contributing to the world, right? Not each part of it has to be fun, but making it as fun as possible and keeping it as simple as possible, for me, is always a good idea. So today we are going to speak about, well, we're going to speak a bit about me, we're going to speak a bit about you, and we're also going to speak a bit about time management, stress management, expressing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, knowing ourselves, and we'll do a short Q&A. And this seminar will last 1 hour. Obviously, all these topics we could speak about for days and for weeks. These are very big topics, so I'm just going to skim through them quickly and give you an idea. And as I always say, like, the reason that I do these seminars open for everybody and for free is to give an idea to people on what I exactly do and how it could contribute to their lives. And if you would like to work further with me professionally, obviously you can always contact me or attend any seminar that I'm organizing. I organize seminars like this that are completely for free, that are for everybody. And I also organize seminars that are professional, paid seminars, and where we get more deeper into the topic. So today, this is our program, and we're going to try to squeeze everything in 1 hour. So we are going to start with my story. I'm not going to give you a timeline here with me, with my photos starting from being a baby and then being an adult, but I just quickly want to share with you my story. And I guess this is important. Whenever you talk about a topic as a trainer, I think when people associate with you, when people feel that you're on the same level, by this I mean that you have similar stories, that you had similar experiences, it is easier for people to associate themselves with you. And that's why instead of diving directly into the topic, what I prefer is that I tell a bit about my story and why is this topic important for me and what I have experienced from it. And then the difficulties that I had with it. So you also understand that nobody, including me or anybody else that you would find successful or productive, was born like this. This was a process for all of us. And with my story, basically, I was a very, very unproductive boy. I was considered very lazy. I was considered very not result-oriented. And if you would have asked people that knew me when I was younger, like when I was around 15, 16, probably they wouldn't think that I would achieve a lot in this life. But as most of you know me right now, I am considered as a very productive person. I am considered as a person that is successful, good at his job, lives a life that he wants. So as you can see, this transformation, it is possible. It can happen. And I guess beside the main details about my life and every single detail of it, I guess the main question that we can ask is, how did this happen? Very shortly, it has happened by realization. I have realized, especially I remember around when I was 17, 18, I remember understanding after having a few problems in my life due to being unproductive. My girlfriend broke up with me, my grades were terrible, my teachers were thinking that I'm a horrible student, and yeah, I had problems in my family life and all that with my mother and my father because of my grades, obviously. And I was in the beginning stage of my life, right? And seeing that my life was falling apart in such a young age, I said to myself, okay, Perçin, I think this is the time to take a decision where that you have to decide if you want to go on like this for the rest of your life, or if you want to change some things. And I decided to change it. And this was a strong decision. I didn't just say, okay, I'm going to change it, and tomorrow I continued my normal life. When I decided, I have decided for real. And I said, okay, I am going to take steps to change my life. And I did a lot of things after I took this decision. I paid more attention to my diet. I paid more attention to doing sports. I paid more attention to reading more. I paid more attention to changing my social circle to people that are actually productive, blah, 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 and all that. And I have started, as I said, reading books, which I didn't have that habit at all. I have started going to some conferences that are related with the topic. I have started attending social groups that are trying to do things outside their formal education. I have joined a student organization that were organizing trainings and events and conferences. And all these decisions quickly enough started changing my life. And this was the beginning of the journey where I have turned from a completely unproductive person, step by step, to who I am today, a person who is working internationally, who goes to wherever he pleases, but still manages to earn money, and who earns good money, who lives a life that he's happy with. Obviously, my life is also like everybody else. Everybody else's life has ups and downs. I have bad moments. I have sad moments. I have moments where I'm in financial difficulty still. However, I know that my potential right now, the investment that I have made to myself, it will allow me to do whatever I want to achieve in life. It will not be easy, but it will be possible. And this is my story as a summary, shortly, that turning from a very unproductive person, I have turned to a very productive person that people are taking as an example. And if you would have known me back then, you wouldn't have guessed that I would come to the place that I came right now. And again, it started with realization, it started with a strong decision, and it started with investing in myself mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that. But enough about me. What is your story? I'm going to see one message that my friend wrote. She asked if I could speak a bit slowly. Well, I mean, yes and no, because this seminar is for people that speak English, and I understand that everybody is not a native speaker here, but this is not an English teaching seminar. So I will try to speak a bit slower, but I'm not going to speak as if I'm speaking to beginner level English speakers, because again, in a seminar that's in English, it's expected that people understand a regular English like a person speaking English like this. Again, if I speak too fast, you can always ask me to slow down, because I know I speak a bit too fast. But again, I mean, coming to this seminar, we expect you to have a certain level of English. And you don't have to understand everything. And if you have questions, you can always ask me at the end to repeat some stuff. But yeah, again, this seminar is in English, and it's not an English teaching seminar. It's a seminar that I give that's in English language. And since this video will be on YouTube, you can also watch it later just to repeat and understand more about it. And feel free to ask me questions anytime. But again, apart from my story, I want to hear a bit your story, actually. I want to ask you why you are here. Why, I mean, not here necessarily, but why are you in a seminar that's about productivity? I'm curious. And I would like to ask one or two participants, if possible, why are they interested in being here? Does anybody, Jamal, Esma, George, Kısmet, Gökhan, would you guys be interested in saying a few words? You can turn on your webcam, or you can also write on the chat box about why you are here, so I understand better what is the need on this topic and how I can address this better. So if anybody volunteers to say a few words about why they're here, you can raise your hand, you can turn on your webcam and tell me, or you can simply write in the chat box. So I'll wait for a second if anybody's interested on this. If nobody wants to say anything about this, that is also fine. And I can share a bit about what I usually hear from people when it comes to productivity. Even when I meet someone, like in a social context, and they tell me, what do you do? And I say, I'm a trainer, I'm a speaker. And they tell me, what are you speaking about? And I say, productivity and topics related to it. And almost 95% of the people, they immediately say, oh, I need to be more productive. So, and this was one of the reasons why I actually was interested in getting deeper into this topic as well, because I know people all around the world, they have issues on productivity. They feel that they can be more productive, and they feel that they can achieve more in their lives. And the main things that I hear from people is, well, first of all, again, I need to be more productive. Secondly, I hear, I'm too busy. There are a lot of priorities in my life that I cannot manage. And third thing that I hear from people is that they say, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And fourth thing that I hear is like, I feel like I'm not reaching my full potential. A lot of people, a lot of things, they say a lot of different things, but mostly what I hear is that people say, like, if I summarize it in one sentence, I could be more productive. And since this is such a general topic, what I like about it as well, that on this way of productivity, you can develop a lot of soft skills, which we're going to speak about in a second, like your time management, like your stress management, like your organization, like your self-discipline, which will contribute to your life, both as a person and as a professional. Actually, I have seen a message from Gökhan about it. When there's an invitation from you, I am there. Gökhan, I can ask you, maybe you can turn on your webcam and tell us, like in 1 minute, like a very short summary on why you are interested in this topic. Would you like to share your story shortly before I continue?
Yes. I'm here, as I said, when there is an invitation, I am there. If there is an education you are inventing and training, I am there. Yes, lots of things, lots of issues here. And throughout my business life, I have done some of them, and some I have missed most of them. Time management also, it was a bad habit for me. Yes, that's all I think.
All right, thank you very much. I have seen another message from George. He says productivity is one of my special interests, so I'd like to focus on it with you. I am going to, at the end of the seminar, I'm going to tell you a bit more about how we could focus more if you would like to work together with me. But again, I mean, the main idea of the seminar is to give you a general idea. And as I have promoted, this is for free and there are no responsibilities with it. But after this, if you would like to get in more detail, you're almost more than welcome to write me and to see what we can do together. And Gökhan, thank you very much for your message. But again, when it comes to this topic of productivity, almost nobody is fully satisfied with themselves. This is sometimes due to the fact that they could do better. With most of us, it's that fact. But also it's important that I've seen a lot of people that do a lot in their lives, but they still do not feel productive enough. But that's a bit also concerning self-love, like how satisfied you are with yourself and how much you're taking care of yourself, which we're going to speak in a minute. And one of the important parts of productivity is, as Gökhan said, managing our time. We all have 24 hours. By the way, when it comes to these topics, time management, stress management, public speaking, again, sometimes I give like seminars on these topics that last 3, 4, 5 days, 1 week. So these are huge topics. I'm just going to talk a few minutes about each single one of them and why they're important. Basically, that's what I'm going to say. When it comes to time management, I mean, it is no surprise that we all have 24 hours. Nobody has 24 hours plus 1 minute, or nobody has less than 24 hours. So the main question generally is why some people achieve more in these 24 hours than some others. Like Elon Musk also has 24 hours, right? But a person that doesn't feel they're doing enough, they also have 24 hours. So what is the difference there? This is a topic that was always interesting for me, actually. And by the way, I am going to move to the garden here. Give me a second. So you can also see outside a bit. But yeah, we're going to continue. And this is something that I've always asked to myself, guys, like why, even though we all have the same time, why some people achieve more than others? And usually there are 3 answers to that. One is personal time management. By the way, if there are any problems with the connection, let me know as well. Oh, sorry. The first one is personal time management, which means planning your time, using calendars, using notes, knowing what to do when. And this is very important. For example, I'm going to very quickly share my screen with you and show you my calendar. So this is my calendar, for example. Most of it will not make sense because I know what it's about. So, but even though, for example, this is in Turkish, I even write like pay your electricity bills, or I write one more page on your book. I write about listen to your audiobook and all that. So this is what I mean by personal time management. And this is a big topic. It's not just about having a calendar, but it's about having habits, having routines, having self-discipline. So this is one aspect of time management. Another aspect of time management is having a team, delegating things. You cannot do everything by yourself. Like the reason why Elon Musk is so successful is because he has hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people working with him. He chooses qualified people, he trains them well, he pays them well, and these people dedicate their time for him. They work for him. They work for themselves as well. They sell their time for money, but they work for him. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, has tons of, almost 100,000 employees all around the world. Jeff Bezos doesn't have 24 hours. Jeff Bezos has 24 hours times 100,000 because 100,000 people are working for him. So delegation is also very important. In my case, now that I give trainings, I have someone that markets my trainings. I have someone that helps me with videos. I have someone that helps me with the planning. So I'm delegating it because it's impossible for me to do everything by myself, right? And another aspect of time management is automation. This is, for example, an example of it, automation, automating things. You guys are from different countries. You guys can be all around the world, but with Zoom, we can meet together here at the same time. I don't have to go to Turkey to meet Gökhan. I don't have to go to England to meet George. I don't have to go to Japan to meet someone else. When we have this opportunity, especially in today's world, we have a lot of opportunities like this, then we can save our time by using the technology. We can use automation softwares. We can use all these notepads. Even calendar is saving. It does save our time. Zoom, all these platforms. I have a landing page. I have a mailing list. I have online trainings. So instead of giving trainings to every single person live like this, I also have a lot of recorded trainings that people can watch. And when people watch these trainings, the recorded videos, I might be sleeping, I might be traveling, I might be with my girlfriend, doesn't matter. That system is there. So that will work for me, whatever I do. So managing our time is not just about individual time planning. It's much more than that. It's also about delegation and it's about automation. And obviously, another important aspect of productivity is managing our stress. Basically, not managing our stress per se, but managing ourselves, managing our emotions, managing our motivation. First of all, when it comes to stress management, I need to say I'm completely against this hype, you know, on these YouTube videos or in these motivational speeches, when people say, like, the speaker comes with their microphone and they say, oh, you wake up at 4 a.m. every day, go for a run, be motivated, never give up. Failure is not an option, blah, 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 blah. Well, being disciplined is good. Waking up is good. Being productive is good. But do not forget that you are human beings. And human beings can feel lazy sometimes. Human beings can wake up late sometimes. Human beings can forget to do things sometimes. Human beings can fail sometimes. That is all right. A lot of people, because they're trying to be productive all the time, they try to turn into machines. But we are human beings with feelings, with hormones. We're not made out of metal, right? So being productive is important, but also taking care of ourselves is important, which I'm going to speak about in a minute. When it comes to stress management, the main thing that I want you to remember is that in today's world, I mean, it has happened all throughout history, but now with Twitter and all that, like, we hear so many things that might bring us down. Right now, for example, in Turkey, we have a huge problem with all these forest fires, and this is very demotivating with people. There are problems with the politicians, that people are not happy, financial problems, blah, blah, blah. But this is all around the world. Just because I'm Turkish originally, I'm talking about them. And this will demotivate you. So, and these things like the forest fires, the problems with economics, blah, 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 finance problems, they are not always in our control. Actually, they are barely in our control. We cannot directly change the situation, right? And also in our personal lives, maybe we will have a problem at work, maybe we will have a problem with our partners, we will have a family problem, we're going to have an argument with our friends. So all our lives, we are going to have these problems. But trying to control all the things that is happening or will happen in your life is an illusion. That is impossible. So the only thing that we can do about this is, if we can change the situation, we can change it. For example, we have a problem at work, right? And we can sit down and think about it. How can I fix this situation? Okay, I can fix it by talking to my boss. So you go and talk to your boss, and he says or she says, oh, okay, I understand. I didn't know this was a problem for you, so I will be more careful, for example. And so you fix the situation, or at least hopefully so. But sometimes there are things that you cannot fix. For example, your boss shouted at you in a meeting. So this situation cannot change anymore. He or she can apologize to you later, which would make the situation a bit better, and make sure that they don't repeat it. But the fact that he or she has shouted at you will not change. So just thinking about it all the time and saying, oh, I don't deserve this, who is this person to shout at me, blah, 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 will not help you. And you cannot change the situation. What you can change is that you make sure that this doesn't happen again, or you can quit your job and find another job. But if you want to stay at your job, it doesn't make sense to think about it all the time and to be angry about it all the time and to be demotivated about it. So even though this situation will not change, what you can change is your attitude towards it. So the way you look at the situation. Because in life, even the same situation, the exact same situation happens to two people, the attitude is the defining factor on how this person will continue to live their life. For example, two people broke up with their partners, their romantic partners, girlfriend, boyfriend. One person took it incredibly bad. He's depressed or she's depressed, doesn't enjoy life anymore, and so sad, doesn't go to work, they started drinking like crazy, and at the end this is an extreme case, obviously, but killed himself, let's say. So this is the worst way to take it, right? And the other person who broke up with his or her partner, let's say he also was sad. Obviously, when you break up with someone that you like, that you loved, it is sad. So you don't have to pretend that this wasn't sad, but you feel like, okay, this happened and I cannot change it anymore. My girlfriend doesn't love me, or he doesn't want to be with me, whatever. So let me take my lesson from this and see what mistakes I did. So in a future relationship, I'm not going to repeat it. And it's another way to take it. And with this positive way of taking it, you make sure that the next time you will do better. So you increase the quality of your life. But with the other way, being depressed and being an alcoholic or quitting your job or all this, it will decrease the quality of your life. So the exact same situation, two different attitudes. So when it comes to stress management, what I usually say is, first of all, stress is not entirely bad for you. Too much stress is bad. But for example, as a speaker, when I go to the stage, I still feel stressed after I have given speeches more than 500 times in my life, but I still feel like a bit excited, but I use this stress to my advantage. I feel it like an energy pump. And when I go, I'm like, yay, welcome. And in a few minutes, I regulate myself. So I don't try to avoid that stress. I try to turn it into positive and keep my blood pumping, right? And secondly, again, the power of attitude is the most important thing in stress management. For example, in our country, there are a lot of financial problems, blah, 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 all that. So instead of waiting, sitting and saying, oh, I hope the economic situation in my country gets better, you can say, how can I improve my economic situation? For example, in Turkey, the Turkish lira is losing a lot of value. And instead of saying, oh, I hope it will increase its value one day, which probably will never happen, you can say, how can I work at a job or do something that I can earn US dollars or that I can earn euros? So you don't have to be bound to the Turkish lira. This is an option, right? So the important thing when it comes to stress management is not trying to feel not stressed at all. That's impossible. And stress is good for us, certain amount of stress, but to set our attitudes. And if we can change the situation, try to change it. If we cannot change the situation, learn from it and try to do better next time. We are human beings. We will make mistakes, but learning from them and trying to do better next time is the important aspect of it. And another aspect of productivity is expressing ourselves well. By expressing ourselves, I mean expressing our emotions, communicating with people healthily, because whatever we do, whatever job we do, we will have to communicate with people, right? In a way or other. And the way you communicate with people generally sets the difference between your job, like between being successful at your job or not. You can be great at your job, you can be great at what you do, you can be the best person in the world, but if you cannot manage to express yourself clearly, then you will have problems in your life. For example, here, what I can say, we have the example of, most of you know of Nusret, I guess, the Turkish chef that has been internationally famous. This guy who does this. There are a lot of chefs in Turkey. There are a lot of successful chefs in Turkey. But the main reason that Nusret has become so internationally successful is because of his communication style. He's funny, he's sincere, people like him, he has some mottos, signature moves. So he expressed himself in a way where he said, okay, this is what I do it good, I do it fun, and you're more than welcome to enjoy my meat, take photos, meet me, and communicate with people. So when it comes to your job, being able to express yourself, even, for example, in my job, expressing myself is crucial. I'm a speaker, right? I will have to use words correctly. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously, but I will have to use the words correctly. I will have to be respectful. I will have to have a good balance in communicating myself. But even though you're an accountant or you're a doctor or you're a whatever, that you don't necessarily have to have public speeches and talk to people all the time, you will need to have good communication skills. So when it comes to being productive, apart from doing our job good, being good at our jobs, also expressing what we do and who we are is an important aspect of it. Because first, when we express ourselves, then we feel more liberated And second, when we communicate what we do to people, then people will want to be a part of it more. And also, this is also related a bit to the stress management. When you are able to express your emotions or your feelings, your thoughts in a healthy manner, then it will also increase the quality of your life. For example, you have a partner and you had an argument with your partner, which will always happen. There will be arguments between people, especially if you're very close and have romantic relationships, right? And there is a difference between being angry at your partner and shouting and or not speaking or turning your back for something that you weren't happy about, than saying to your partner, you remember, like for example, you can go to your partner and say, you remember yesterday we had an argument on this and you said this. I want to share that this made me very unhappy. When you said this word, it made me feel very undervalued, it made me feel very frustrated, and it made me feel very sad. And if your partner is an emotionally intelligent person, 99% of the time, your partner will say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it made you this unhappy. I didn't realize that you were frustrated about this, and I didn't mean to make you feel that way. But as you can see, there's a difference between saying, oh, you're always doing this, you're always like this, you're always making me angry. Like, instead of using the you language, blaming the person or judging the person, the healthy way to express yourself is to say, I feel like this. What you said made me feel like this. Because when you say to the other person, you're always aggressive, you're always jealous, you're always this is your subjective opinion. Probably the other person will not agree with it, and probably they will defend against it. But when you say, I felt, this is how I felt, this is how what you said, what you made me feel, then this is the objective truth. Nothing will change the fact that you felt that way. The other person might not have intended to do so, because usually it's like this, right? The other person says something and you take it wrong or you misunderstand it. So it's very good. It's always good to ask the person, is this what you meant? Like when you told me you're always coming late home, do you think it's because I'm irresponsible or that I don't pay attention to our relationship? And the other person can say yes, no, whatever, right? But if something that person said made you feel upset, this doesn't only have to be in a romantic relationship. It can be friendships, it can be work relationship. It is always good to express yourself and say, this is how I felt when you said this. Because this is the objective truth and you're not blaming anybody. You're just saying, you said this and this is how I felt. Instead of saying, oh, you're always like this is your fault, you're always aggressive, blah, blah, blah. So expressing ourselves in our job, in our personal lives, will contribute to our productivity, because it will make us feel more liberated. It will make us feel that we are able to express what we feel and what we think, and it will stimulate us into thinking. And obviously, as a result, it will make us feel happy. And my suggestion to you, when you express yourselves, always do it with courage. So if you want to share your feelings with someone, do it, but always do it politely. So again, like never swear, never curse, never be aggressive, because being aggressive does mean that you're scared. Actually, it's a form of defense mechanism. I know the most confident people on the world that I know, they're always calm. But this doesn't mean that they don't get angry. They do get angry. We're human beings. All of us will get angry at some point. It's not normal not to get angry, because then it means you're pushing down your emotions. But here, even when you get angry, it doesn't have to be like, breaking things like King Kong. When you get angry, you can meditate, you can take a break, you can just move away and regulate your emotions, breathe, and then you express yourself. Once, when I have this story that I always say about a guy who has expressed himself to me, and this was a very important lesson for me. When I was living in Belgium, when I was younger, I lived in Belgium for a while, and I was at a government building, and I was in the line to get a document. But I wanted to ask a question to the receptionist, so I cut the line, and then I said, am I in the right place for this document? And the receptionist took my document and started processing it. But there were people in front of me that were in the line. So one guy came to me and he said, what is your number? I thought you were behind us, not in front of us. And he was very frustrated about it, obviously, because he felt that I was cutting in line. And he said, like, for 5 minutes, he was ranting at me, saying, this is completely unacceptable, but in this tone, like very calmly, this is completely unacceptable what you're doing. We've been waiting here for 1 hour. This is not nice, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, the more he spoke, I was like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. And then at the end, like after a few minutes ranting at me, he said, I'm very sorry for saying all this, but I needed to express myself. I was like, wow, this is something that I have barely experienced in my country before. And being able to express yourself doesn't only make you productive as a person, but makes the whole nation or the whole region productive. I see in the countries where people can express themselves in a more civilized manner, they don't fight so much. They don't have a lot of conflicts between themselves because they know how to express themselves healthily. But in countries or cultures where people, they don't express themselves that much, that they don't say a lot to their faces, they generally gossip more, they generally fight more, they generally have more conflicts because they do not feel that they have expressed themselves well enough. And once you do not express yourself well enough, once you feel that, you will have that feeling here, and it will keep your mind busy and obviously prevent you from being a productive person. So apart from time management and stress management, being able to express yourself is an important aspect of productivity. And obviously, knowing yourself, knowing ourselves is an important part of it. What do I mean by this? What do I mean is, a lot of people, they don't listen to themselves enough. They don't ask themselves the questions, what do I want in this life? What makes me happy? What job would I do that would make me feel satisfied? A lot of people they live the life as the school tells them, their family tells them, the politicians tell them. They become a part of the system. They work in jobs that they're not happy, and obviously they do not reach their full potentials because they hate being there. But they buy a house, they buy a car, they get a loan from the bank, so they feel like they're stuck there. They have a child, blah, blah, blah. And then they live all their lives coming up with reasons. I have a job, I just got promoted, I just got a new house, I just had a child, blah, blah, blah. And they die. If that life makes you happy, fine. But a lot of people are not happy with this life, regardless how much money they earn. So asking yourself the question, what do I want in this life? Basically, what is my why? Why do I want to do what I do? Like, I want to be a doctor. Okay, why do I want to be a doctor? Because I want to save lives. Okay, great. If this motivates you, be a doctor. But if you want to be a doctor because your father tells you to be a doctor, then don't be a doctor. So that's my point. So knowing yourself well enough and understanding what your passion or passions are in this life and living your life in that direction will make you the most productive person on earth, because you will enjoy what you do. You are going to feel satisfaction with what you do. So as a result, you will be internally motivated. You will wake up every morning and say, I love my job, I love doing it, and I will do the best for it. And you will improve yourself, you will learn, you're going to take one step at a time, you're going to have teams, you're going to have systems, and soon enough you will be successful. That was the case with me. I had a corporate job in 2013. I only stayed 6 months because I didn't like it, I hated it, I was getting paid well, but this wasn't for me. I said, no, I'm sorry, this is not for me, I'm not happy here, and I will go my own direction. And for a few years, I had financial problems. I had difficulties marketing my job as a trainer. It was difficult as a young person, but now I'm happy. I can be wherever I want in the world. I'm not stuck in an office. I earn good money, especially before COVID. I started earning very good money. Now with COVID, it was a bit difficult, obviously, but I'm getting there. But most importantly, I'm free, I'm happy, I have my own program. And like with my life like this, because I know I truly take pleasure in being a speaker, in being a trainer, I know that I can reach my full potential, be that it be financially, emotionally, intellectually, and all. I stimulate my brain every day. I think about what I can do better every day. I meet amazing people. I live in amazing places. I earn good money. Again, I'm not a millionaire, not yet, but I will be one day soon enough. I'm 34 years old now. So my plan is to be a millionaire in a few years. And yeah, I'm trying to improve myself. And most importantly, I inspire other people. Like, people join to my trainings, people listen to what I say. This is the most important thing for me. And this all started by me investing in knowing myself, what I want from this life, what I take pleasure doing at, what I'm good at, what I don't want in this life, and what is my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And to understand this topic of why better, my suggestion is I would suggest a book to you by Simon Sinek, Start with Why. So if you want, you can write it down and check it later. It's an amazing book. I love it. And I would recommend you that as well. All right. We're close to the end. Again, as I said, it will take 1 hour. So I'm not going to take longer than that. And with all these topics, guys, as I said, sorry, I need to stretch. As I said, productivity is a big topic, right? It is about managing your time. It's about managing yourself. It's about learning about yourself. It's about improving yourself. It's about stress management, expressing yourself, public speaking. But a lot of people make this mistake of when they're trying to be productive, they forget about themselves. And this is a deadly mistake, guys. Never do that, please. What do I mean by not paying attention to yourself? What I mean is that a lot of people work long hours. A lot of people don't sleep enough, don't eat enough. For example, when they work, they eat a hamburger or put fries in their mouth, and they stay up till late. Because in today's culture, like working a lot, exhausting yourself to the limit of like burning out is over glamorized, which means people think it's cool to sleep late and work long hours. People think it's cool to, eat quick while you're working. People think it's cool to have long meetings. And I'm completely against that. I work less hours than most of the people that I know. I think I work like 4 hours per day, except my seminars. But I work very disciplined. I work very regularly. I work very organized. I delegate things. I use systems, blah, blah, blah. So in these 4 hours, usually I achieve more than 99% that I know, 99% of the people that I know that work 10 hours per day. Because usually it's not about how long you work, it's about how organized you are. I know a lot of people that they work in an office and they sit down and they spend half an hour trying to figure out where they will start. And then it's lunchtime, they come, they have a coffee, and then again, they spend 1 hour on trying to figure out where they're going to start. They try to find what they do. But what I do, I make a plan for tomorrow or the whole week. And I say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to write this and I'm going to speak about this. I'm going to click on this link and I'm going to type this email. So everything is organized. So I just have to do it. I don't have to spend time trying to figure out how to do it. And I never sleep too late. I try to have a good diet because what you put in your body is very important. I try to drink a lot of water. I try to keep myself hydrated. Now I forgot my water bottle. That's why I'm not drinking, but I do drink a lot of water. I meditate, and I never sacrifice my time on these things. I never sacrifice my sleep, like maybe once a month if we go out or something. I never sacrifice my meditation. I never sacrifice my diet. I mean, I'm not the healthiest guy on the planet, but at least I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol or very little. And I don't do anything I don't eat a lot of sugar. So I take care of myself. And I make sure that I spend enough time with family, even though it's online now because I'm abroad. I make sure that I spend enough time with my girlfriend. Well, again, I'm not 100% successful in these things, but I try at this. So I take care of myself. I always ask myself, Perçin, how do you feel? What do you need? Because if you don't take care of yourself enough, in the long run, you're not going to be productive. It's better to be disciplined, organized, delegate, manage your time well. So you don't have to work long hours. And in the long term, you will still be successful once you do this. That's why right now, let me show you actually. I like showing this. Right. That's why right now I'm in California in a beautiful house. I don't want to get too far away from the Wi-Fi connection, but at a beautiful place that I can still work, where I can still work and earn money. And half of the day, I take care of myself. I travel, I see new places, and half of the day, I work. And I earn enough money to live this lifestyle, which is most of the time more than what I would have learned in the corporate life that I hated. So taking care of yourself, enjoying your time, having fun is important. So life is not about always waking up at 4 a.m. and reading one book every week and, you know, watching 5 videos every day. It's not a competition. It's important to develop yourself, improve yourself, invest in yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. But you can do this without overworking yourself. But it depends from person to person, obviously. Some people like to work early. Some people, for their biological hour, they like to work late. So knowing yourself is an important part of it. Make sure that you know your rhythm, you understand your rhythm, and see your productive hours, and make a nice program, organize yourself well accordingly, and then you will be more successful or more productive than the rest of the people that you know, actually. And again, life is about balance, guys. We are not machines. Didn't come to this work just to work. We didn't come to this world, sorry, just to work. We came to this world because, what I believe at least, that we are a part of the whole, that we came to this world because we have a purpose to make this world and our universe a better place. And the only way to do it is to know yourself, know what you enjoy doing, know what you could be good at potentially, and making a better version of yourself every day, and contributing to your life and to the lives of people around you. That can be 1 person, 10 people, 1 million people, 1 billion people, depends, but everything counts, that I can say. And a balance is important there, a balance of taking care of yourself, spending time with yourself enough, and at the same time working efficiently, working productively, working effectively. So both extremes are bad. Like doing nothing in your life and just trying to be hedonistic, in my opinion, is not good, because you will not feel that you're contributing to this planet enough. But just working, and not spending time with yourself, and investing in your family, investing in your health, that will also be not sustainable, and it will not make you happy as well. Life is definitely not about that too, right? So before we come to the end, I have a few notes. The first one is that, actually, now that I try to focus on the topic of productivity more, I am going to publish a book. I have started writing it. This will be my first book in English. I have books in Turkish, in my native language, on entrepreneurship, travel, blah, 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 but I did not have a book in English before. So now I'm in the process of writing it. I have already written around 10 pages. So in 3 months, I plan to finish it. I plan to get it published online, like on Amazon, and also offline. So I just wanted to share it with you. And I have shared a post about it on Instagram, actually. If you have any recommendations on this, if you say, Perçin, you can talk about this in your book, or you can talk about this in your book, I'm always happy to get feedback. And also I will have guest writers, guest authors in the book, which means like I will invite around 10-15 people that write 1 or 2 pages about their own productivity journey. Like if they feel productive, how they try to be productive, if not, why not? Or so if you want to be a part of the book, you can also tell me. And another thing that I want to share with you, but I'm going to share it after the question and answers. So what I want to say now, ask now, if you guys have any questions about this topic. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. So I see, and then you can either turn on your camera, or you can just simply write on the chat box, and I would be happy to answer your questions while I'm here. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask now, guys. If not, I mean, you're more than welcome to ask me anytime, but now that I'm here, you can always ask me whenever you want to. And finally, again, there's one question, I guess. George wrote, thank you very much. Welcome, George. And finally, again, these seminars I do, one of the reasons, well, the main reason that I do these seminars is to contribute. I like it. It also stimulates me into thinking, and I see what people need about this topic. I try to understand what is the main topics that I can speak about when it comes to productivity, when I share my experiences, when I share my stories. But this is a 1-hour seminar, so we can only speak so much. And again, joining this seminar, again, I can say it with sincerity. I have no expectations from anyone joining this seminar. My only expectation is that you benefit from it and that you enjoy your time. But if you would like to work with me professionally on this, if you would like to go deeper into this topic, and if you would like to invest in yourself, I would also invite you to do so. And after most of my seminars, what I do is that I offer a certain discount to people in the things that I do. And in this seminar, I would like to offer you to this discount that will only be available for these 5 people and for 1 day on my Productivity Guru training set. I will shortly speak about this. And again, I will just share the link with you. If you would like to get it, if you would like to buy it, you're more than welcome. If not, no problem. So this is for the people who do not know. I have an online training course series called Being a Productivity Guru, which includes 10 different trainings about stress management, time management, entrepreneurship, being productive, which includes one-on-one coaching with me, 2 sessions, and which includes a certificate from Bosphorus Story House, my training company. And in the summer, for the people who attend my trainings, we give a 75% summer discount. I will share the link with you so you can look at it more detailed. I'm not going to speak about it one by one, but basically the main idea of this package is to give you more comprehensive knowledge and to help you on your way to be more productive personally and professionally. So to make this an investment to yourself, to earn more money, to be more financially independent, to be more international, to improve your soft skills. And these are the things that are included in this package. Normally, this package costs $1,000. Again, as I said, it has more than 50 hours of training materials in it. It has one-on-one coaching with me, and it has certification. And we also create a special group for people that will always be in touch with me. And right now, with the discount, it is $99. Again, for some people, this still could be a lot of money, and I understand. This is an investment that you can do or not. But as a person, myself, who tries to attend these different trainings, who always tries to buy these online trainings, who tries to invest in himself, I can say, regardless if it's this training or another training, if you have the power, invest in these things, guys, because you will earn 10 times, 100 times more if you take the correct steps. So, and this discount is only valid for 1 day, and it's only valid for these 5 people. So keep it in mind. I'm going to share the link now, and then you can check the rest of the links. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But this includes more than 10 trainings. That is 50 plus hours of material, online video material, one-on-one coaching with me, 2 sessions and certificate. And instead of $1,000, it's even more than 75% actually. We have made it $99 just for 1 day limited edition. I will share the link here if you are interested. Feel free to click on it. I have just shared it in the chat box. Feel free to click on it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I think we have 1 question. I'm going to answer that, and then we can slowly finalize it. And the link, I mistakenly sent it to Kismet, but here it is. You can click on this link again, and then you can, if you want, benefit from this experience in 1 day. All right, let me see the questions. Is productivity a learnable thing? Well, yes, that actually, from the beginning of my conversation, this was one of the things that I wanted to tell, especially in the part where I shared my story. I wasn't a productive person, so it wasn't genetical with me, or maybe I had the potential, but it didn't come out. After university, with all the decisions that I have taken, I have started being productive. So productivity, as almost everything else in life, is a learnable thing. It's about how much time you put in it and how much you invest in it. Time-wise, financially, concentration-wise, blah, blah, blah. And the rest of the question is, if there are 2 people starting to learn about productivity at the same time, will there be any difference among these people? Of course, there will be. Because it doesn't matter when they start. It matters when you start, but it's never too late. What matters is how much you invest in yourself, how much you do it in your style, how much you find your rhythm, and all these things. There are millions of parameters, so it will never be the same. Even if there are 2 twins, it will be different because the process cannot be exactly the same, right? So people have different rhythms, but the important thing here is you don't have to rush as well. Not everybody has the same speed. For some people, maybe they will get results in 1 month. Maybe for some people who has a slower rhythm, maybe you will have results in 3 months, 6 months. So you just have to keep on doing what you're doing, turning things into habits and making sure that you take care of yourselves at the same time. Once you do that, you will get there. It's a bit about like a turtle race. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about how sustainable and regular you get there. That is the most important part of it, guys. It's about habits. It's not about speed. And yeah, I guess this is it. We have been on time. So it has been exactly 1 hour actually. So I'm glad. This was my first masterclass in this topic as well. So I also had a better idea on what I can do better next time and how I can improve myself. So, and I plan to do such masterclasses. Well, I will do it in Turkish as well, because there are a lot of people who are Turkish that follow me. But in English, I plan to do this once a month. And in the future, I also plan to, because right now I just shared it with my friends and with my circle, but I will also start promoting it in Instagram with the advertisements. So for the next trainings, we will have more. And again, I will always have free seminars like this, like that will give you an idea. And if you want to work more in detail with me, if you would like to invest more in this, you're more than welcome to join any of my trainings that I do professionally as well. I have shared the link on my training set of being a productivity guru. If you're interested, benefit from that discount, or if you have any questions, you can also write to me. I would be happy to walk this journey with you. So thank you very much once again for being with us, and I will see you in another seminar. Take care and greetings from California, guys. Bye-bye.